How's it going, everyone? This is Dr. Brent Britt, Science of Falling, and welcome to the Fall Breakdown, episode number 5. In this series, we take videos from the internet, break down how the person fell, but more importantly, how they could have felt better and avoided the situation entirely, and walk you through step by step how I would get out of those situations if I was in them. In this episode, we have 4 different videos. One is going to be a trip and fall, but we also get an extra fall in that video. And then we have a run fall, which is a very unique type of fall. There's a few different variations of it, and this is going to be probably the more rare version of a run fall. And then we have a slip and fall with ice, very classic type of fall. And finally, the last video is going to be a professional parkour athlete doing a pretty crazy stunt, in my opinion, and landing safely due to their years of training falls. So let's hop into it. So this is going to be the trip and fall. And you can see the first person trips with their right foot on that statue of a dog. And that's pretty obvious, right? They're tripping, they're falling down the stairs, the second person comes in and also falls. But pay attention to what their feet do right after tripping. You kind of see they do this small stutter step. So that's a pretty much guaranteed way to fall after you trip. The goal with stepping after a fall or tripping is to step out as far as you possibly can. Because when you step out far, that foot acts like a brake. When you take tiny little steps, you actually add momentum to the fall and make the fall worse in whatever direction you're going. So this person should have took a big step with that left leg, act like a brake, and stop that momentum from ever carrying her forward. Now you can see as she falls, foot's already done, right? We're not stepping out any further. So she's already fallen and she starts heading for that pole. Now she was really smart. She kind of grabbed and pushed herself to the side, it looks like a little bit, and then swung herself down the stairs. Now, you know, it's a kind of a toss up if that was better than just hitting the pole in the first place. Going down the stairs, you don't really get to burn off any momentum. Matter of fact, you're going to gain some because you're going downhill. But if you're moving, if you're rolling, sometimes that is a safer scenario than just stopping, right? Because when you just stop, all the force hits you at one time. If you're rolling down the stairs, as long as they're protecting their head, which I'm not quite sure this lady did, you kind of really miss out on that hit. She did hit her head right there. And it's hard to tell exactly what kind of injury she may have had as she's falling down the stairs. But either way, the best scenario for this fall would be take a big step with that left foot, and to avoid the stairs entirely, actually use that pole to take a big step with the left foot, grab the pole and push as hard as she possibly could off to the left so that she stays on the flat top. That would have prevented the stairs coming in and would have allowed for less momentum into the fall overall. Now, the second person clearly was trying to run up and save her, right? But I don't think they were going to be getting there in time. And even if they did, I don't think they would have been doing much to save the person. Probably would actually cause more injury, maybe even tackled her into the side. So this person clearly had good intentions, but they were coming up fast and they couldn't control themselves. So they hit that pole and they went down to the ground. You know, I like to tell people to try to help others out, but sometimes when a fall is happening, the best thing to do is not intervene. Let the fall happen and then intervene afterwards for whatever the injury is. Because oftentimes when you see a fall happening, you're already too late to the situation and you're just going to cause more injury or you're going to injure yourself. All right, let's look at the second video here. So this is a run fall. It's a type of fall that happens when you're running, although sometimes after you trip, if you take those short choppy steps like we talked about in the last video, it leads to a run and an uncontrollable increase in momentum for a fall. Now this one is different because it starts with running, and this gentleman just could not handle the speed he was going in combination with his body weight. You can see his legs just weren't able to keep the weight up anymore, and right about here he starts losing it. That is pretty common for people going faster than their body is capable of. You actually can see it in like NFL players sometimes when they're sprinting down the field, if they're going faster than they're used to, say they're not a sprinting type of athlete over long distances, they start losing their balance under their own body weight, under their own power. That's what this gentleman is doing. He just clearly doesn't run. And so he didn't know how to handle the body weight every footstep, right? Because every time he steps, it's a one-legged balance, a mini one-legged squat. If he doesn't do that normally, he's just not going to be able to handle it. So as he starts going down, he just plops. You can see he actually bounces off the ground. And so although he has a small roll after that bounce, he actually didn't dissipate much energy and probably really messed up his shoulder. Luckily, he has some extra padding, and that does help. So when I land on the meaty bits, he has a lot of meaty bits on that arm. So what should have happened here is as he starts to go down, instead of fighting it, he should automatically try to go into a roll. So right when he starts to fall, he should have kicked that other leg up and created more momentum to roll into the fall. Again, that takes a lot of falling intelligence is what I would call it. You have to practice that. So I don't fault this guy for not doing that. But at the core of it, the reason he fell here is because he just didn't know how to handle his body weight under that kind of speed. Now, another classic fall right here is going to be the slip and fall on ice. This is a big type of fall due to rushing or just being unprepared. So if you live in an area that gets icy, if it gets below 40 degrees, you should be doing a couple different things to make sure you don't end up like this poor guy. First off, you should be probably salting any surface that you might be walking on, especially surfaces that maybe have a decline like a driveway. And you should be salting before any night that might get below 40 degrees because the salt's going to stay there, right? You're not going to waste it, but you will prevent yourself from breaking bones or hitting your head. The second thing is, if you are in one of these areas and say you forgot to put salt down, or even if you did put salt down, you should be checking with your foot. You should always check the surfaces. So you should open the door, hold on to it, and then take one foot and kind of rub it against the surface. And every step you take along the way of places that you're not sure about, you should be going very slow, checking for any slippery spots, and that way you can avoid it or make sure that you walk slowly over it. Now, in this case, if this gentleman didn't slip where he was, you're actually better off just walking on the grass because the grass has lots of friction and then you don't have to worry about slipping in the first place. So this guy, how could he have fallen better? I mean, clearly he didn't avoid it, so how could he fall better? Well, his fall actually wasn't that bad. On ice, it's a different sort of animal. A lot of falling techniques require friction to make sure that you can control your direction, control force absorption, but on ice that all goes out the window. So it really is just mitigating injury as much as possible and doing something that's called a break fall. So essentially falling without control and landing on as much of your body as you can while protecting the head. Now we got to give this guy some props. He did land on his whole body. He put his arms out. Luckily, he didn't put them behind him because he could have broken an arm, but he did spread out, which is going to spread the fall energy and absorb along more parts of his body. The only thing he could have done much better here is tuck his chin. You see the head falls back and it whips. Could have easily hit his head. Luckily, he has some hair there, so it probably softened the blow. But that is a whiplash injury. That's a concussion. So the best thing to do is take the chin, tuck it towards the chest, and then hold tight when you hit. All right, the last fall is a pretty amazing fall. This is Dominic Tommaso. He is a professional parkour athlete, does stuff for Red Bull, and he is famous for his gigantic front flips and just insane stunts. Now, he also has taken quite a few big hits in his day from stunts gone wrong. So this one is actually really benign, and this could have been really bad if he wasn't a person that knew how to fall really well. So he's trying to do a flip to what's called a precision and possibly jumping out to another flip. So he's trying to land on both feet on that tree trunk and then potentially flip out again is something that he likes to do. But what happened is you can see his left leg slips off that tree trunk. And so he automatically starts going into a fall because his momentum is still taking him forwards. He did a forwards front flip there, or as a side flip rather, and that momentum's taking him forwards, so he has to go with it. There's no reason to try to stop it because it's not going to be able to stop. So as he goes down, you can see he actually uses his arm to block the ground, and then also I think he gently tucks his chin. We'll see on the next one. Watch that arm, blocks, tucks his chin a little bit, and his other hand also grabs the ground to lead, and he takes a little slam on his hip, but the idea is he is going with the momentum. The momentum's carrying him. He's protecting the important bits of his head, using his hands to kind of control the situation, and then also just rolling out with it. And you can see he goes back up to his feet, dissipating more energy. So a really crazy fall, but from a person who does stuff like this every day. So for him, it was just another normal bail. I'm sure he doesn't like to bail like this very often, but he has done crazier things, and he walked away with this without any injuries. Just a great video to put on social media. So that is the fall breakdown episode number 5. Now, everything we talk about really comes down to falling principles. The roll safe principles is what I call them. So it's 6 principles to safe falling. So R stands for relax the body. O is observe your surroundings. L is going to be lengthen the fall. The other L is going to be land on the meaty bits. Then we have S, shield the head, and A, F, E, absorb, flow, exhale, go with the fall, don't fight it. That's what that means. And all of these things are principles of safe falling, that when someone falls and they get injured or they don't have a good fall, they're usually not following many of these principles. Now, someone like Dom in that last video, he's using all the principles because he's trained himself to make them kind of just second nature. He doesn't think about it, it just happens. When he fell, he used his arm to block the ground. He fell onto his hip, he tucked his chin, he kept on going with the roll, using all those principles to safely make it out of a pretty crazy situation. So I wanted to contrast those 3 falls, which were pretty small falls, but big possible injuries, with a giant jump and fall, but almost no injury whatsoever, maybe a scrape or something, right? So when we know how to fall and we fall well, we can avoid serious injuries, even in the craziest of situations. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.